Right, here we go. Hello guys and welcome to another video. My name's Mark, I'm an entrepreneur and property investor, and in today's video we're talking about how much is a sensible amount to be spending on a car. And I'm not just going to be talking about your monthly car payment, I'm also going to be talking about the value of the car. And in this video what I want to do is give you a formula so that you can work out what you should be spending, and it's going to be very simple. And the reason I'm going to keep it simple is because I believe there are two parts to your wealth. Number one is your income, and this is what you're swapping your time for money for, or what your investment income is. It's the money coming in every month. The second one is your net worth, and both of these are incredibly important. Now in business we call these balance sheet and profit and loss. Now in our personal life we call them income and expenditure, and again we can refer to it as a balance sheet or our assets and liabilities. So what I want to do is give you a formula today that's going to guide you on how much to spend on a car, because this is the second largest purchase that most people make. Number one being a house that they live in, their rent, their mortgage, whatever it is that they live in. Number two is quite often the car. And if we can save some money on the car, we can invest more money and become more wealthy. So guys, if you like this sort of content, please give this video a big like. It's the only thing we ask for on this channel. Because we don't upsell anything, we can bring you all this information completely free of charge without any sort of agenda. And if you haven't already subscribed, why not consider subscribing? So the car payment, how much should we be spending? Now in the UK, this is going to blow your mind, I think. In the UK, the average car payment is £350 per calendar month. I just think that is bonkers, considering the average salary is 27k if you include part-timers and only 30k if you only look at full-time people. It's not that high. A 30k salary is 2.5k before tax, and it's only 2,000 after, which would mean that once you put in insurance, maintenance, all that sort of stuff, not including fuel, just insurance and maintenance, I think that's more like 500, and that's a quarter of your income. So if you're relying on your income to build your wealth, you can see that's going to be like a massive drag on your ability to be able to do that, isn't it? What we want to do on this channel is just put together a simple rule that will allow you to go, is that sensible for me? Now, I'm going to divide this into two sides. It's going to be assets and liabilities, and it's going to be income. And I believe this: you should only be spending 5% of either of those on your car. That's the sort of number I think it should be. And the reason I'm going to say that is that regardless of how much you make, if you don't fulfill both of those requirements, i.e. it's only 5% of your assets and liabilities or your net worth, and it's only 5% of your income, the money that's coming in, you've got a significant drag, or you're massively over leveraged on an asset that's going to depreciate over time. So let's look at a couple of examples and run the figures, and then you'll see what I mean. So let's say for example we were an average person and we had an income of £30,000. Now 5% of 30,000 would be £1,500. Oops, that's on the wrong column, sorry, wrong column, £1,500 on here. So divide that by 12, which would mean that you'd be able to spend, using this formula, about £125 per month. Now that would get you, I don't know, a Ford Fiesta or something like that. And you might go, well, I'm on 30k, I should be able to afford more than that. 5% is what we're saying. It's quite a low number because it allows you to have the other 400 quid or the other 220 quid to invest, and that's going to start building up your assets. Now, that car, the Ford Fiesta, might be, I don't know, a 15k car, something like that. And I'm saying, unless you've got a net worth that's 20 times this, so 300,000, I wouldn't be making that purchase. I would be saying that's still too much car for you. I think at that point you need to be buying something probably for cash and much cheaper, because you need to have as much income as you possibly can to be able to build this net worth to a point where you can afford it. Now let's look at a guy that's maybe on 100k. And he's got, 100k, let's say, a disposable income of, and I'm just using rough numbers, remember we're just filming this off the cuff, so we're going to say he's got 6k a month. Well, 5% of 6k gives him £300 per calendar month, and he could easily afford that. There's no question, he could easily afford £300 a month, and that will get him a C-class or something similar. Now, if his net worth isn't, and a C-class is what, 30k car, maybe 35k car, something like that. Again, if his net worth isn't 700,000, I wouldn't be making that purchase. I'd be saying you need something cheaper. Now, if his net worth was £1 $1 million and his income's a bit higher, there's different scenarios. But I think this 5% rule is key. It's going to keep you out of trouble. It's going to stop you overspending, because you might have a big net worth but no income and you can't afford those monthlies. You might have a big income and no net worth, and you're just setting yourself up with a liability that's going to depreciate over time. Don't make that mistake. That is what the advertisers want you to do. That's what society wants you to do. I've driven very, very nice cars, and I've driven, well, quite frankly, bangers. And the amount of enjoyment difference is very minimal, certainly for me. I remember my wife's old X5, we bought it for £5 grand, we run it for like 7 years. It cost us next to nothing, and that was absolutely fine. I mean, her SQ7, which is an amazing vehicle, cost us, I think, £65,000 when it was 2 years old. We've probably lost £30,000 on it, and it doesn't give us that much more enjoyment. We used to love our old X5. So I think it's incredibly important. If you're looking to become wealthy, if you're looking to build your net worth, if you're looking to build your income with passive income, then this sort of rule is going to be smart for you. So am I following it? Let's work that out, because I've got a £50,000 car, right? At today's value, it's about 50,000. Well, my net worth's a few million, probably 2 or 3 million. So I'm definitely within 5%. My income and the payment on it is about £800 a month. Is that 5% of my income? Well, I can tell you it's less than 5% of my income, because my passive income alone would cover that plus extra. So I think I'm personally following it without it being on purpose. Today, I just was having this thought, because I've spoken to someone earlier on today, and I just thought, you know what, the car is a big problem for this individual. £600 a month out of £3 grand a month she was spending, and that's a huge amount. It's a big problem. It's stopping her from being able to invest. So guys, don't make the same mistake. I think keep the car expense as low as you possibly can. This is just a guide. If you want to go for 10%, fine. You're going to have a little bit more car and a little bit more wealth. But ultimately, don't be spending 25%. 25% is way too much. Don't be the average. Make sure you make smart financial decisions. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.